Jonathan, just before 10 o'clock, we heard a single loud bang coming from the area. Fire after 4 a.m. Take a look at this roof just dripping. Yeah, Brittany, that's an understatement. Anniston city leaders learned about this decision around 12:30 today through an email. That's right, Devin. It was just last Thursday that we were standing right here learning of the discovery of Huai Robinson's body. And if you take a look behind me, this is the memorial that they have set up for her. Well, Peter, that remains to be seen. This organization that calls themselves the Indivisible Party confronted council members here at Government Plaza, saying these signs are just an embarrassment to the city of Mobile. A man driving a Chevy Blazer ran through this four-way stop without stopping, came and hit this small utility box, who said it didn't sound so much like gunshots as one big explosion, like one blast. Someone will come up to you at your house and either try to sell you a product or offer their services. And walking to your car with your keys in your fist, the key coming out in between your fingers. Back. A little daunting and out of my comfort zone already. Has put security measures in place to protect Jones because of the reaction that this case has caused. The judge will hear the motion to dismiss the charges on July 9th. Out here you can barely see the concrete barriers for all the water. As you can see behind me, the causeway is closed. Earlier, it is a difficult night, especially with all the officer-involved shootings that we've seen lately, both here and in Mobile. So this is obviously a topic on everybody's mind tonight. We understand Officer Cullen Stafford turns 36 tomorrow. He's also celebrating his going into his 9th year on the force. Tuscaloosa's mayor announcing this week he's expanding the curfew to 24 hours a day. Now Session is seeing more support for his cause. A Republican candidate in New Hampshire is running ads on the issue. It's game day and everybody's pumped. It's quite a setup you've got here. Talk about what we got going on here.
Well, you know, we got us a TV. You know.
Get this thing out of the way. I mean, hell. Whoa! Ashley Knight, boom! With the sideline stand out here. The action straight away. Keep Ashley away from me.
She did that all in heels, Steve. Bravo.
And this is why.
Hello, I'm Ashley Knight. Right now, vehicle fires are threatening the Pathway apartment homes in Mobile. News 5's Cameron Edgeworth joins us live from the scene now with more information. Cameron? Tonight, we're learning more about one of the men arrested for a shooting after a parade yesterday in the Trinity Gardens area of Mobile. A 21-year-old man from Moss Point, Mississippi is now charged with manslaughter for the deaths of 2 people killed in a crash. Welcome back to News 5 at 6 o'clock. Tonight is the final night of alligator hunting season in our area of the state. The investigation continues into this deadly train collision in South Carolina. It happened just around 2:30 this morning. Many will consider themselves lucky to see this game up close, but one man was more than lucky.
The tie, I don't know if you can see at home, the tie is lit up. We're
The tie
ready
is
to go.
lit up. That's excellent. These glasses hurt, by the way.
With this
Better moves than I have, I'll tell you that much.
For sure.
I've
Yeah.
seen your moves.
They're not good.
They're okay.
They're pretty bad. They'll blind you.
No, can't formally foxtrot.
No.
Can't do it.
Well, let's foxtrot our way into the temperatures right now.
Ah, it's a lovely transition.
Yeah, Brittany, that's an understatement. Anniston city leaders learned about this decision around 12:30 today through an email, and they say they're going to fight it.
I was saying, well, I'm not going to Japan, so it wasn't going to concern me. But yet, now I wake up, get up, and before the sun set, they telling me that it's coming here.
The reaction of citizens here in Anniston. Federal agencies announced Saturday American passengers who had been quarantined on a cruise ship in Japan and had tested positive for coronavirus are going to be held at the Center for Domestic Preparedness in Anniston, a federal facility that is used for training FEMA personnel. City officials making it clear today they were blindsided by the decision.
Well, we were surprised. We had no idea. Quite frankly, I think a lot of people had no idea.
So taken aback that at the time of the news conference, they had not yet been briefed on how to prepare for this situation, and it doesn't appear they'll be given much time.
It's our understanding that they would be transported probably next week.
Calhoun County Commission Chairman Tim Hodges also clearly upset by the announcement.
CDP is a world-class facility. I wouldn't doubt their ability at all, but I don't believe this area is prepared to take this on at the time.
In their statement released today, the Department of Health and Human Services says those transported have all tested positive for the virus, but either show no symptoms or show mild flu-like symptoms. They told city officials today the passengers would remain in a separate area from those training at the center and would only be released when medically cleared. Will medical staff be on site with them, staying with them to monitor their...
We've not been provided any information by Health and Human Services or FEMA with respect to the actual care of the patients. No, ma'am.
Hodges says they are looking into blocking the decision on a federal level if needed. They're consulting with County Attorney Gloria Floyd.
Whether this happens or not, or we can stop it or not, it can't happen this quick. I mean, you do something over the weekend when nobody's working and people are hard to get in touch with, a lot of officials are out of town, and you can't just say, hey, this is what's going to happen.
Now, a number of these passengers were going to be transported to Costa Mesa, California, to a facility there. However, a federal judge has temporarily blocked that decision. They will go to court Monday on that. Meanwhile, no one seems to know exactly where these passengers are being quarantined in the meantime. Truly an amazing story and an amazing man. Deputy Chris Rogers didn't think about the danger he was putting himself in. He just knew he had to save his best friend. Almost 48 hours later, you can still smell the charred remains of the SUV.
It was terrible. It was really terrible.
Thursday night on Highway 21, Officer Blake McGee and Deputy Chris Rogers were driving home from a fundraiser in Talladega. Rogers says it all happened suddenly.
I saw him veer off the road. I saw his taillights go off, and then I just seen fire. And then I seen fire go through the logs because there wasn't any, I didn't see any lights on the truck. I never saw the truck either until the fire went through the logs.
The driver of the logging truck later said he was swinging wide to make a right turn onto Grist Mill Road. McGee's SUV and the tail end of the truck collided.
I just started screaming, oh no, 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 no.
Rogers and McGee both serve on the Talladega County Drug Task Force. The two, like brothers, are thick as thieves.
We're just a lot alike. He was trying to run over me on this motorcycle right here.
So seeing his friend in a car, now on fire, was a very sobering sight.
I thought I lost my best friend.
Rogers pulled up next to McGee's SUV. By then, the car, the logs, and the ground were on fire. At that point, he says, adrenaline kicked in.
I jumped in, crawled in, and I started snatching on him. I finally got a hold of his belt, and I started snatching on his belt, and I finally worked him out from under the steering wheel and got him in between the seats. And I started screaming for help. I said, y'all help me, please help me. 3
other drivers stopped to help. One of them, a Marine veteran, just happened to have a device that breaks car windows. They pulled out McGee, who was unconscious, through the back passenger window and over to the grass. When he came to, they tried to keep him conscious until first responders got there.
But we really wanted to give thanks to the passersby who stopped to help. One of them actually crawled into the burning vehicle with me to get him out.
A terrifying experience that could have turned out very differently.
His granddad told him a long time ago never to tell anybody goodbye, because that means goodbye. He said, always see you later. So we're glad he didn't tell us goodbye.
They tell me McGee suffered a fractured pelvis, a broken femur, and either a bruised or ruptured bladder. Now, despite all of that, they say he's in good spirits and joking with hospital staff. Ashley Knight, WBRC Fox 6 News, on your side. Steve, it's a magical day for those who are in love, and Matthew Carroll likes to add his unique touch to make it all that more special. Besides, who doesn't want to be sung to? Matthew Carroll's job is part secret agent.
Is he coming out here? Should I hide around the corner?
And part wandering minstrel.
Are you Brian? How sweet it is to be loved by you.
And he always draws a crowd.
Baby, I just want to stop.
Carroll started the day with about 30 requests.
We've been running around all day long.
And he ended with about 60. Carroll started this business 10 years ago, thinking it was a good way to make extra cash while also playing bars and restaurants.
Music itself, it's just already an emotional thing, and then the surprise, and then as they read the card, a lot of times their card is very sweet, and so they're looking at a sweet card with it's almost like you're setting the backdrop to the message, you know?
90% of his business comes from word of mouth. He's a musician by day. You can find his latest album on Spotify. But he keeps doing telegrams because they're just fun.
You are the living embodiment of expressing the love to the other person.
And music livens everything up, even a mundane elevator ride.
Baby, I will be loving you when your legs don't work like they used to before.
And you can imagine he's got a few stories to tell.
After their first date, the man sent us to the lady, but then 2 years later it worked, because 2 years later he sent us again to sing As He Proposed. So it was a really, really sweet story.
And whether or not you're up for this kind of thing, you just can't help but be moved by it.
And we found love right where we are.
It was a lot of fun. Carroll is available most every day of the year. He's got a team that works with him. We'll have his information up on this story a little bit later this evening. Ashley Knight, WBRC, Fox 6 News, on your side.